Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Foster Mom Abby here, and I am bringing you guys along on a night in my life with a newborn as a foster mom. So stay tuned for that, but a couple of fun facts first as I get ready for bed. We as foster parents, biological parents, and adoptive parents have at this point now raised 9 newborns. If you count the newborn phase as 8 weeks and 7 days a week, that's 56 days times 9. We have had a newborn for 504 nights of our life, which is probably more than most people. So I'm going to share a few tips with you that I live by. We've also had 3 additional infants that were not within that 8-week window. So basically, for the last 12 years, I haven't got a lot of sleep. But there are a few things that I do that I feel like help, and I've been watching a lot of like new mom content. You know how like Instagram and Facebook like know the stage of life you're in because they like listen to you. I've been watching a lot of like spend a night with my newborn with me and timestamps and all of that. And it shocks me how much these people are up with their babies. Like, don't get me wrong. We've got bad nights every now and again, and I am tired, but like, I don't stay up all night long as a general rule. Once again, there have been bad nights, but I don't know how I would survive that. Like, we get into like a pretty good routine. So yeah. Okay, first things first, baby sleeps in a bassinet next to my bed for the first, I don't know, 4 months. And then they move into a crib in our room. I generally put it somewhere over there, like where the changing table is now. Easily accessible. Might be controversial. Baby doesn't sleep with me, but I do feed baby in bed. Also, Dr. Brown's is like the only bottle nipple I use. I feel like it really eliminates gas in general and helps baby sleep better. I felt like I had so many tips to share. No, I'm like, what were they? I always think it's useful to like try to stay up till around 11, do that last feed before you go to bed. And then my husband, I'm the only one that gets up at night. He does not generally get up in the night unless I wake him up because like there's a problem. You'll see sometimes he'll get up to help with my older toddler, but who's still not sleeping through the night. But he usually gets up for work at 5 in the morning and then takes baby out of the room so I can have uninterrupted sleep till he leaves around 7. So that's pretty much what keeps me sane. I try to wake up no more than 3 times a night. Obviously, babies have their own like sleep schedule. Each one's different. So our niche within foster care is drug addicted babies. A lot of times they're sleepier than regular babies, so maybe that's why I'm able to like do this the way that I do. But I always get a prescription from the doctor to swaddle them. In Texas in foster care, you're not allowed to swaddle for sleep unless you have a prescription from a doctor. But because babies tremor when they're coming off of drugs, they do not sleep unless they're swaddled. So I always get a swaddle prescription. And I just love the muslin swaddle blankets. I don't generally use any of those like contraptions that you can use. I just love the muslin swaddle blankets, and I have a foolproof way to swaddle, which I should show you because I feel like that makes a big difference too. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this without showing you baby's face or anything that I'm not supposed to. Don't judge. He's a boy, but I'm using a girl swaddle blanket because when you're sleeping, who cares? And I have plenty of boy ones. They're just in the wash. So we're using the girl one for tonight. As far as sleeping, I'm going to share when they're brand new, like 2 weeks old or less, and especially boys that are circumcised. I change their diaper like every time I feed them. But when they get more than like a couple of weeks old, I don't wake them like I dream feed. I don't wake them like, especially when they're drug addicted. A lot of times they hate getting their diapers changed. Like I've never had one like it. And so there's a lot of, like, it just upsets them. And so I usually change our diaper right before we go to bed at night, at 11. Obviously, like, I just lost a diaper. Like I said, I we'll change them every time they feed when they're like 2 weeks or under, healing and circumcision. But after that, I change the diaper at 11 before the feed. Obviously, if they poop in the night, I change them. But if it's just pee, they go from 11 until 5 when my husband gets up and he changes them right away. And that just seems to work better to not wake them fully up. The secret to that is Huggies Little Snugglers. It's the only diaper that I will use. And it is how I make sure that they don't leak. My foolproof swaddle method as a mom of newborns, foster mom trick. You are going to take your swaddle blanket, you're gonna lay it down, you're gonna fold a triangle over, and you're gonna put their head on that triangle. There we go. Now, you're gonna take your left side, fold it over with their right arm, and fold it underneath their back, and pull tight. Then you're gonna take the bottom, fold it underneath their left arm in the back, and tuck. Finally, take the rest of the fabric, wrap it around their left arm, behind their back, and tuck. From the back, it looks like this. From the front, it looks like that. They stay snuggled and swaddled all night long. Come along with me on a night with a newborn, foster parent edition. Don't worry, he's not sleeping here. I'm just side laying to give him his first bottle. Well, I guess his last bottle before I go to bed. I think he's trying to poop. Perfect timing after I just got him all changed and swaddled up. He normally takes like a full 2 to 3 ounces before he goes down, but he's only taken 1 ounce. So I think he got distracted trying to poop. Do you want the rest of that? So I love like holding him in the crook of my arm and feeding him his bottle this way. He takes forever to eat. He takes like 30 minutes to eat a bottle. We have to use a premium nipple, otherwise he chokes. And yes, I know how to do like left-sided holding while he eats and stuff, but the bigger he gets, the better it is, just like this. So it is 11:05, and I'm gonna finish feeding him this bottle and lay him in the bassinet, which is right there. My husband fell asleep on the couch, and I'm gonna let him sleep out there because I actually think he's gonna get better sleep out there than in here getting woke up, which I'm the one that gets up with the baby, but it still wakes him up. And he is a football coach, and they have a game tomorrow. So tomorrow's Friday. So I'm gonna let him sleep out there and get some good sleep. And I'm really, 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 really hoping to make it to like 2:30 and then like 5:30. So we'll see how my night goes. I'm hoping to only get up twice. Okay, it's about 11:20. I finished feeding him. He drank all but about a half ounce. I put him in his bed. He didn't end up pooping, so we'll see if that happens during the night, but hopefully he'll settle down. His noises always keep me up for at least like 30 minutes. So I'll probably lay here and scroll my phone until I fall asleep, and I'm fingers crossed for a 2:30 a.m. wake-up call from him. Well, he made it to 218, which is great. My 15-month-old, on the other hand, was up at like 1:15. No, probably like 12:45. I don't know, my husband heard him crying and got up to get him. So I just went to make him a bottle. But I was like dazed and confused at that point because I had just fallen asleep like within the last hour. So I was like out of it, but all good. A little bit made it almost 3 hours. It was 2:18 when I got up with him. So I'm gonna feed him. It'll probably take till about 3, and then fingers crossed for 5:30. Usually starting at like 5:30, my husband will come get him, and I'll get like an hour and a half of sleep before he leaves for work. All right, well, it is 5:01 a.m. We are up for our, I guess really this is the third feeding of the night if you count 11 and 2:18 and now. The good news is, although it takes him forever to eat, he is really good about going right back to sleep. So there's that. It's almost time for my husband to get up to go to work, and usually he'll take him from 5:30 to 7 so I can sleep uninterrupted for an hour and a half, which makes all the difference. I feel like that's the only reason I've been surviving. The problem is I hear my 15-month-old in the other room and he's up. Not ready for him to get up at 5. We have a football game tonight and he will be exhausted. So I'm gonna finish feeding little man, hand him off to daddy, and then try to get my hour and a half of sleep. It's 5:30. I was a big talker about my husband come taking the baby. He's still not awake yet. And baby is very much awake. So I guess mommy is awake for the day too. Hopefully we'll get a nap because like I said, we have a football game tonight and it's 2.5 hours from home. The game starts at 7:30, which means I'll probably get home around 1. So it's gonna be a long day. And the kids have a half day of school. But such is life. Thankfully, God made mamas to only need a few hours of sleep, which I did get from about 11:30 to about 5, only waking up once in that time frame. So thanks for following along on my night as a foster mom with a newborn. Stay tuned for more motherhood content.